Andy's coming.
I'm still watching. Yeah. It's supposed to be winning, but.
All right. So L'Jarius Sneed, as far as injuries go, he had the concussion, and then Kadarius Toney's ankle, he tweaked that. Juju Schuster, that knee acted up on him from the week, and then McCole Hardman gave it his best, and as did all these guys. I mean, tribute to the work ethic. Pat out there doing his thing. Kelsey, who missed the last day of practice, all that stuff. So I'm proud of them for everything they've done. Great for the city. Our fans were unbelievable. Bucker, I mean, what a redemption story. He comes back and after a high ankle sprain has kind of moved his season a different direction than he wanted for a period there. And he came back and just knocked it out. Sky Moore, who had the drops early, was called on to go out there and return. And he did a great job with what ended up sealing MVS. Had a nice day. As did all the receivers. We only had 3 of them, so by the end, so they all did nice. Our young secondary, 2 of them got interceptions, and 6 helped cause the interception for 23. So I mean, it was a great deal. Chris Jones had an unbelievable game along with Frank Clark. I mean, constantly in the backfield and just busted their tail. I mean, what a performance they had. So, and I mean, I could keep going. I'm sure I'm missing people here, but I'm proud of all of them, man. They did a great job. So, anyways, with that, time's yours.
You just mentioned Patrick Mahomes. His rookie performance coming off the week from the high ankle sprain. How impressive was his performance to you?
I think I did. You just didn't hear me. And we can't replay it, right? Like the commercial. Can't do that. Herbie, doggone it. Yeah, so, but listen, it was pure grit. He and Kels. But for Pat to do what he did and then to have that run at the end, I can't say enough. He is the MVP in my eyes.
Andy, a lot of conversation from Cincinnati this week. Do you think that with something under your guys, not that they would need something for an AFC Championship, but you should add something?
Yeah, listen, our guys did a great job of not going that direction. Their mayor said it all, and so I'm glad our mayor just did what he did, and some people heard it.
Andy, you alluded to this a little bit, but there was one sequence where Patrick looked like he aggravated the ankle, but Cole got hurt. Juju had just come off. You guys turned that into a touchdown drive. Is that a little bit of a inflection point in the game for you to have to show that grit then?
Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, first of all, that's a great football team, and they've done a heck of a job there turning that thing around. That quarterback is a heck of a player. So, but for our guys to grit up like that, it was beautiful thing to do, and do it at home.
Was there a point where you knew this week that not only was Pat going to play, but he was going to play well as well?
Well, he gave me no opportunity to not think that he wasn't going to play. I mean, he never missed a snap, and I just our our players, our team, coaches, we're all lucky to have him in that position, and the mindset, that whole mindset. So it carries over to everybody. And there was no denying that he was, I mean, you know, there's no question he was going to play. So.
Was there a moment where you maybe put him on the practice field that led you to believe he was going to be okay tonight? Not just playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he went out and practiced. Yeah. So, I mean, he pushed off of that thing and, you know, he did all the stuff, and he lived in the training room. Rick Burkholder and Julie, I mean, the job that they did with him of getting him ready and him spending all the time, you know, I'm sure he went home and his wife was probably working on it too. So, I mean, it was everybody taking concern for him.
You mentioned some of the Harrison, Sky. What's it mean for you as a coach to see some guys that gone through struggles, seeing your game road, maybe a single?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, the perseverance, I mean, that's important in this game. The toughness, mental toughness is such a big part of this game. And to get to this level here, I mean, this is pretty spectacular to be able to go back, and quite an honor. And the Hunts give us an opportunity to do that, which is so important. And give the coaches an opportunity, give Mark and Veach an opportunity, you know, myself. So, and all the players, they put us in a position where we can go succeed. And that's, you know, and all the guys did a great job. Brett with the guys that played tonight. I mean, what a tribute to him and his staff for all the great things that they've done with these players, young guys. I mean, who would have thought this at the beginning of the year, right? I mean, I'm sure you all, you know, wrote about it somewhere along the line that we had a lot of new faces, and for everybody to come together like that, you know, that's satisfying as a coach.
Coach,
One, two, three, four.
Coach, knowing you're just going to want to focus on the game the next 2 weeks, but this is pretty special getting to play the old franchise. What is that to you as you look back at your time there as well?
Yeah, I had a great time there. So 14 years, a long time, huh? And I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the city. They're passionate. They love football. I mean, I can't wait till Kansas City and Philly clash. It's gonna be awesome, man. I mean, what a great Super Bowl it'll be.
Coach, every team is different. Every year is different. How do your emotions compare this year going into the Super Bowl compared to other periods?
Yeah, I mean, being out there was unbelievable. There's nothing like winning the championship at home. I mean, that's just a special feeling. You know, and not that the Super Bowl is not. I don't want to say that. That's a pretty good feeling too. But to be at home and do it, it's unbelievable. So I'm riding a wave right now, as you guys are, and I'll calm down after I leave here.
Coach, you guys struggled to try to get to Burrow the last couple of games. What was working so well for you guys early to be able to get to him?
Yeah, so I mentioned this to Dan after the game, and what the players were talking about the game plan, the defensive players, and how they loved it, and they just thought it was going to work and just be. They couldn't wait to get out there. And I mean, I kept hearing that over and over, and that you know, listen, Spags did a heck of a job with it, a phenomenal job with it, and his coaches and the players executed it. I mean, it was fun to watch. I have a bird's eye view of it, and they were rolling.
Last one by.
Andy, just obviously a lot of subplots to this, but I wonder what you make of the Kelsey versus Kelsey.
No, but I've vested time in both those two, so I feel like I'm part of the family.
Thank you. Come on in, quickly.
All right, I'll start with a congratulations to Andy, our coaching staff, the players on a tremendous performance tonight. Obviously, one of the storylines of this evening was the adversity that we overcame. In the course of any season, you're always going to face adversity, and I really feel like during this past week, we almost faced a season's worth of adversity, starting with Patrick's ankle injury last week and Travis's back tightening up on him on Friday. And then, of course, all the injuries tonight, particularly at the receiver position. But Andy and the guys did a tremendous job and were able to overcome it and get it done. I also want to mention the fans tonight. They were incredible. I had multiple people mention to me what a great atmosphere this was, how loud it was, the energy level. Of course, that's always true of any game here at GEHA Field at Arrowhead, but I thought it was particularly true tonight, and getting to celebrate winning the Lamar Hunt Trophy with our fans is very, very special for our family and the entire organization. With that, I'll open it up.
Our third time going back to the Super Bowl in the past 4 seasons. I mean, as an owner, does it get any better than this?
I don't know that it gets better, but we do know not to take it for granted. One of the things about going 50 years between Super Bowls is it teaches you how much to appreciate it. You know, certainly over the last 5 years, we've been blessed to be in 5 straight AFC Championship games, all here at home. And the 3 Super Bowls that you mentioned, it's special, but we're not going to take it for granted. And hopefully we'll get out there and try to claim another Lombardi.
Clark, given that you traded Tyreek Hill back this spring, you had a bunch of young guys playing for you on defense. What were your expectations for this season, say, over the summer?
Well, internally, we had high expectations, understanding the challenge of playing with a bunch of young players. If you listen to much of the national media, you would have thought that we had no chance. I remember, Andy commenting in response to a question that, we're not going to be too bad ourselves because people were talking about the other teams in the AFC West. Obviously, really the credit goes to Andy and the coaching staff for getting those young players ready to play. And, of course, tonight we had numerous young players step up, some who haven't played very much over the course of the season. They had an opportunity tonight, and they really shined.
Just having seen Patrick as much as you have over these last few years, does this game stand on its own in some way for what he had to do that? And I wonder also what you thought of the run that kind of, in the crucible there was pretty critical.
Yeah, Andy and I were talking about Patrick earlier in the week, and I mentioned to him that the great ones always find a way to get it done, particularly when they're facing adversity. And Patrick certainly showed that tonight. Tremendous performance all the way around. Clearly, his ankle didn't feel very good in the fourth quarter, and the game couldn't have had a better finishing sequence than having Patrick, make that run, get the penalty, put us in field goal position that ultimately led to the win. Watching the play, I was like, well, Superman put his cape on and got it done for us. And, just tremendous performance all the way around by Patrick.
Clark, this game almost was played in Atlanta, and there's been a lot of conversation about perhaps the NFL will take the conference championships to neutral sites. I know you got to be a little biased about it, but that being said, what are your thoughts on that possibility?
Yeah, well, we were certainly ready to play the game at a neutral site if that's the way it turned out. We understood the unusual sequence at the end of the season in terms of the Buffalo-Cincy game not being able to be completed. I think Andy said it best that, we'd be happy to play the game in the McDonald's parking lot, and that was true. Andy's teams are just as good on the road typically as they are at home. So it wasn't something that we shied away from. On the other hand, we were very excited to get to play in front of our great fans. One of the things that I've learned over the last 5 years is how special these championship games are when you get to play them at home and you get to celebrate with your fans. And I know that my dad was a proponent at times of taking the AFC and NFC Championship games to neutral sites. But I think based on our experience, I think it's best to give the team that earns that right the chance to play the game at home.
All right, thank you.
All right, real quick, just want to congratulate Chiefs Kingdom and our amazing fan base on tonight. It's always an amazing experience. Want to thank Clark Hunt and his family for all their support, Mark Donovan and his crew, and the coaching staff. Certainly don't want to leave out Rick Burkholder and his crew. Joked this week that we were like the healthiest team all year, and then one of the biggest games of the year, we had a bunch of injuries, but his guys just grinded overtime and got these guys ready to roll. So big tip of the cap to Rick and his crew, and then certainly my staff. We had a long spring and a lot of tough decisions, and there's a lot of hours in that film room. But I have total faith in those guys, and those guys have total faith in me. And again, can't thank them enough for all their support. And with that, I'll take your questions.
Can you maybe put in perspective what kind of achievement this is, given the trade of Tyreek back in the spring and then playing so many young guys on defense like you did during the season?
Yeah, well, I think it just speaks to the strength of the organization. I mean, we have a great coaching staff, obviously a generational talent at quarterback. But, we're deep throughout the organization, and, we have a great scouting staff. And, we didn't go into the offseason just throwing darts. I mean, we knew we had tough decisions to make, but at the same time, we put together a really good plan, and we trusted in our process, and we trusted in the coaching staff to lead these young individuals. And it was crazy tonight to see. You look up and 35 has an interception, 23 has an interception, 6 has the tip, 24 with the punt return, 10 with the, he's been big all year. So George had a sack. So, I mean, the whole crew stepped up, and that's what you need to do to win these type of games. And it's a long season. You have to have tremendous depth, and these guys were amazing all year, and they're going to continue to get better.
You said you weren't throwing darts here. You like the guys you brought in.
Yeah.
Did you get more out of this rookie group, particularly the defensive guys, than you anticipated you might?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe it was out of necessity because we had a lot of turnover. But again, every time we approach an offseason, whether it be a free agent signing or draft pick, I mean, we have full confidence in our staff's ability to bring talented players in and our coaches to get the most out of them. So I think you saw early on, you guys were at the OTAs and the training camps. And I think it was pretty clear early on that this would be a special group, and they were certainly a big part of this whole journey here.
Brett, where does this fit in, you think, the sort of narrative of Patrick's career, the arc of his career, in terms of what you did tonight? A little different sort of way of going about it.
Yeah, I think it's similar to all the great ones, and they'll have roster turnovers, and they'll find a way, and they'll have injuries, and they'll find a way. And Patrick's at the top of that list, in my opinion. I'm biased, but I mean, he's incredible. And then, I mean, people don't realize how hurt he was. I mean, we all saw the injury. I mean, high ankles are terrible injuries, and sometimes guys miss 2-3 weeks. And he was out there and running for a first down or a big play in the game that got us in field goal range, and obviously with the late hit there that put us in range. But it just adds to his already great legacy.
Right. Adam mentioned the trade of Tyreek. I imagine obviously that's a huge decision. How much is this year a confirmation of, if we have Patrick, we're going to be okay with what we surround him with?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a confirmation of that. We have confidence in in our process, and again, our guys work extremely hard, and you guys know from our pre-draft meetings and when we were joking around about the running back situation, and there'll be a lot of running backs left in the draft. But I think it just goes, to show that, I have a really talented staff, and I think that, the hard work pays off, and we have a process, and I think we're always going to be certainly motivated to continue to add talent and depth to this roster and provide coach and Pat what they need.
Last story, Brett, a lot of people are going to talk about coach his time in Philly, but that's where you were too. What's this mean to you to be facing your old organization?
Yeah, no, it's special, and they're a really good team. I mean, from the start of the season, they came out of the gate and they were undefeated, and they built that team with a talented quarterback, but their fronts are amazing. I mean, their offensive line is really talented, and their defensive line seems like they have 30 guys that can rush the passer. So it's going to be a really, really tough game, and as coach would say, we look forward to the challenge. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Last one second. Did you sense something that did it mean more to beat this particular team? Obviously, we all talked about the history of this team, experience, that organization. We felt something more important to beat.
I mean, I can't speak for the players. I mean, I certainly think so. I mean, you're talking about a team that knocked you out last year. I mean, they're a really good team. And, we were certainly impressed by what they did last week against Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's an awesome organization, extremely talented team, and what they did to go into Buffalo and to put up all those points. But, certainly last year, I mean, we had some opportunities to go to the Super Bowl and we didn't make plays they did. So to have that chance that, redemption there was certainly sweet, I think, for the whole organization. Yep.
Phone up so I can.
Is there a point this week that not only knew you were playing, but you were going to get done the things you got done tonight?
I didn't expect to be able to run very much, just from the way it felt. But the training staff, Julie, did a great job of getting me enough range and mobility that I was able to protect myself. And at the end of the game there, I had to run to get the first down, and it got us into field goal range. So credit to them. And then just trying to stay on it. And we have 2 more weeks, so we got to keep doing it.
Is there a point, though, you sort of felt, hey, I'm going to get some things done?
Yeah, I tried to a couple times in the game where I was trying to get through spots that I usually could get through, and you could see that I didn't have that burst that I usually have. So I got the ball out of my hands quickly. I think you saw that. And I threw probably a few more checkdowns than I usually would throw, and relied on my teammates to make the plays happen, and that's what they did.
Patrick, there were a couple of
on the play you're running left was the third down pass to the hole.
Yeah, it was. I think y'all saw it was. I said the stopping was going to be the hardest part, and obviously throwing it across your body cue to plant that right leg and twist across it to throw. So I definitely didn't feel good. I think the worst one was when I fumbled. I tried to pick it up, and that was probably the worst tweak that I had during the game. But like I said, they got me close as they could to 100%, and then I just battled through, and I'll have a few more weeks to get it ready.
Well, you just kind of lost the hand.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think it was wide open. I was gonna throw it to Marquez. They blitzed, and so he was gonna be wide open, and just slipped right out of my hand. And obviously, I tried to pick it up, and wasn't able to do that. So luckily, it didn't cost us the game because it was a big moment in the game, and our defense stepped up and got some stops for us there at the end.
You guys are really good at not letting the trash talk get back to the podium. Travis made it obvious that he had heard some of that. Just how inside the locker room is motivating between you guys to kind of gear up for this type of matchup.
Yeah, I think guys were probably the most pumped up I'd seen them going into a football game. A lot of trash talk coming from a lot of different places. I think no one picked us to win. If so, it was like 5% of people. And we think we've built up enough respect to have a chance to go out and win every game. So whenever you feel like you're the underdog, when you're playing at Arrowhead Stadium, it gets guys ready to go.
Was it in particular they said? Arrowhead stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you got Burrowhead. They beat us last time. They were talking about we got to play them. There was a lot of stuff. I mean, the mayor came at me, man. I understand he's the mayor of Cincinnati, so he has to think about something. But it's something that you just got to play the football game and then let your play do the talking.
Patrick, when you tweeted that earlier, when you made that run, does that get back in your mind at all? Like, I don't know if I can push off this way. I got to make this run, or how did you process that as you went into that run?
Throughout the game, I think I just tried to do whatever I could to win. And obviously there was times where you could see that it wouldn't let me do what I wanted to, but I was able to do enough in that last play to get the first down and get myself out of bounds and try to give Harrison a chance to win. And obviously we got the flag when he pushed me pretty late there. I was just the defense had gotten stops for us like the last 2 drives, and we had opportunities to get in field goal range and we didn't. So I knew I was going to do whatever I could to get us in the field goal range, and then Harrison made the kick.
Just the trash talk aside, how significant was it to beat
Yeah, I mean, the way we've played the last couple games, I mean, you saw it was very similar to these last games where we get ahead and they come back and beat us, and that's a credit to them, man. They had a great team and great leaders over there. But we felt like we needed to get this win. We wanted to play this team, and we got them at Arrowhead Stadium, and we were able to finish the job this time. And I mean, the job's not finished for us. I mean, we got a chance to go up against a great football team in Philadelphia Eagles, and so we had to enjoy this for about a day. And then get right back to it because I've been in the Super Bowl, man. And winning it's a lot better than losing it.
What did it mean to you guys, to you personally, legacy-wise, to your organization?
Yeah, I would appreciate it a way more. And I mean, I don't want to say that in a bad way. I think when I first got in the league, it all happened so fast. I won the MVP, I won the Super Bowl, and I thought that's just kind of how it went. You were going to play. I listened to what Coach Reed said, and that stuff happens. And now that I've dealt with failure, of losing the AFC Championship, losing the Super Bowl, I know how much hard work and daily grind that it takes. And so I'm just excited to get to that game with the teammates that I have here. And it's a lot of new teammates that haven't been in these Super Bowl games. And so let's bring them along and prepare them so that we can go out and put our best foot forward.
What worked on the touchdown pass to MBS? What did you see sort of pre-snap? And did MBS threw up his hand? I'm sure you probably saw that as well.
Yeah, no, it was he was kind of like the third progression in the read. We had a good protection going, and the offensive line gave me a lot of time. And so I wanted to look at Kelsey first, and they sent a double team to him. And then I reset back to the deep cross that we had, and the safety jumped that. And so both those safeties having the double team Travis and jumping that, I just tried to get back to it, and I saw that hand go up. He's like 6'5", and has those long arms. So he threw the hand up, and I couldn't really see in front of him, so I tried to throw a line drive to him, and he was able to make a big play for us and a big part of the game.
Patrick, you went into this game with about as many weapons as you've had in a long time, and then they just kept dropping as it went. What was it like to go through the game and look up and you got Marcus Kemp in the huddle and all that?
Yeah, it was a wild week, man. We got guys back. We lost guys. We had guys kind of questionable or whatever you want to say. And so I was proud of those guys and how they battled, man. Not everybody was feeling 100% out there, and they went out there and battled anyways. But let's try to get those guys back now we have the extra week, and hopefully we can get them back, as many guys as possible. And the good thing about having a guy like Kemp is he was the guy I was throwing to in scout team and in training camp my first year here. So I've built up that trust in him and know he's going to be in the right spot. And every time he gets in, man, he seems like he made something good happen. So I was happy for him.
Last one, Patrick, Brett Beach said people didn't realize how hurt you were. Your performance tonight adds to a great legacy. Where do you feel like this performance, in your opinion, fits in your legacy?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to comment on it. My goal is to win the Super Bowl. And obviously the AFC Championship is something that I'll forever remember, winning that Lamar Hunt trophy at Arrowhead Stadium. But to me, the job's not finished. I mean, all you can think about is how are you going to get better? I mean, this is a great football team that we're going up against. I think you've seen that the last few weeks and this whole entire season. So I know I should take the best that we got. And that's going to take us preparing this next week and the next week after that to go out there and play our best football.
Thank you.
How y'all doing, guys? I'm good.
One sec, Chris.
Oh.
Hi,
Sit here with me.
I'll move next to Ruth.
How y'all doing?
Chris, what was it like? I mean, you guys got after the quarterback early and late. Just take us through kind of what worked for you guys tonight on the defensive line.
I just think the back end showed up really, really well for us. Gave us an extra second to get to the quarterback. And the front four played resilient tonight, man. Those guys, they showed up, answered the call when needed. Mike Dana, George Karloftis, Frank Clark, doing Frank Clark things. He's moving up in the record books. So I think we just played resilient and stopped the run. We was able to get after him.
Chris?
I think I planned for this game. My whole offseason was dedicated to this game. I missed a few big plays last year. Unfortunate that I was able to move forward, and I put that on my shoulders. So this offseason, I dedicated my whole offseason to making sure when that moment calls for me again, specifically, that I'll answer the call.
It looked like before the last snap, that maybe you thought about going inside, but then obviously you went and went outside. Just what was the reason why you chose that matchup, and what do you feel like you did well to get that side?
Yeah, the last play, I think it was gun far. They end up bringing the tight end up, motioning out the back. And when they gave me that look earlier in the game, I was getting the tackle and the guard. And I figured since the tight end was on the line, they was on the max protection, keeping the tight end in, making them chip the D in. So in my head, I was thinking maybe I can get a one-on-one with the tight end. If not, I can get a one-on-one with the tackle, and I feel pretty good about it.
Chris, good job keeping it down this week with some of the back and forth. That's just the fourth, right? You guys didn't really respond. I wonder if you made up for that at all out there today. How you did that? I'm sure you were dealing with it.
Listen, man, we're not a team that talks. Okay, we're not a team that taunts. We just go out and play the game respectfully, but don't ever, ever, ever disrespect Arrowhead Stadium at GEHA. Okay.
Mention the disrespect. You just some with the disrespect earlier on in the season, man, and coming into this game. Does that make this win that much more special because you guys were counted out in this game?
Listen, man, for some reason we're always counted out, whether it's in our division, whether it's against the Bengals. They done beat us 3 times, and we knew we enjoy the motivation that being counted out give us. I think we got a lot of competitors on this team. We look forward to the challenge.
I want to know, tell me about these mice on your shoulder. What's that all about?
Listen, it's an old jacket. I had it like 2 years ago, and I seen Joe Burrow wear the teddy bear, and I was like, I can't let him outdo me, right? So I had to bring out a teddy bear.
I mean, there'd been a lot made. Chris Jones doesn't have any playoff sacks. Like, had that been weighing on you at all? And how did it feel to get not just 1 but 2 today?
There's been a lot made by you guys. Y'all make it bigger than what it is. I really personally do not care about stats in the playoffs. My job is to make sure that I play hard, play physical, set a different side of the line of scrimmage, and make my teammates around me make plays. And whether it's taking a double team the whole game, or whether it's getting the one-on-one and winning. I think you guys actually blew it out of proportion. It don't really matter to me, but I'm fortunate that you guys can have another story. Chris Jones finally got a sack,
Chris, right in your mind at all when you got it?
No. I knew it entered you guys' mind, like Chris Jones finally got it. That wasn't a goal for me, okay? I just want you guys to know, but you guys, I understand the logic of it. 11 games, no sacks, so I get it.
4 more. Chris, thinking back to after you won the Super Bowl, right after you were talking dynasty right away, and it's been a long road back. Just what will it mean to get this opportunity? Where if you win, I think a lot of people feel like, okay, we're there when it comes to that.
The opportunity itself is important. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I don't want to start no dynasty talk. You got to start blowing it out of proportion. Right now, we got a challenge ahead of us against a heck of a team. So we're looking forward to preparing for those guys and playing in the Super Bowl again. We're back, baby. We're back.
Chris Patrick said he was very motivated late to make something happen because of the stops you guys were getting. What motivation did you guys draw from what he was able to do?
Listen, Pat is a warrior. I don't have to sit up here and tell you how resilient Pat is. His game speaks for itself. What he did for 4 quarters there, what he did for 2.5 quarters last game. I mean, he's a resilient guy. So I think his play speaks for itself.
I was going to follow up with that too. Just knowing, watching Pat all week, being around him. What do you think it took for him to go out there and play today?
Nothing. He got treatment all week. I mean, what you guys want me to say? He got treatment all week. He was good. He played fantastic, though, man.
Chris, given how much the season has gone for a lot of you guys, how much do you take gratification, not just that you had some redemption, but everybody on the team? Maybe
Listen,
obviously, we played well today.
God is good. We waited for this moment all year. We knew it may be an opportunity we get to see those guys again, but we're back, baby. See y'all in Arizona.
Yep.
If you say my name wrong, I'm not answering your question. Just a heads up.
Marquez, both had receiving in a Chiefs game today. So, I mean, just And come together for you in this one?
I don't know. Ball just got put in the air and I made the play. Not really, any special secret, no secret sauce. Just ball went up, made the plays.
Was there a play from practice or anything that happened during the week that let you know Pat was going to play the way Pat played tonight?
Just him showing up every day. There wasn't really a specific thing. It was just, Pat's a competitor. One of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. So I knew if he could go, he's going to go, and he went. So.
Marquez, you guys started the game with about as many of your weapons together as you've had in a long, long time, and kind of dropping off. What was it like, in the huddle and on the bench? Like, who's going to be in the?
Yeah, it was a little chaotic, but we got a bunch of good guys, man, from top to bottom, and I think that was able to showcase today. Obviously you never want to see 3 guys go down from the same position, and being able to watch Sky come in and Marcus Kim come in and play and contribute, that was huge, because they were going down on special teams and having to go right back in on offense, and there were just 3 of us, and we had to make it work, and we did. We had some huge plays by both of those guys. Punt return by Sky, Marcus with the curl route on the backside of one of those plays to get us the first down. I think that was just big to see those guys, prepare all week, all year, because you never know where your number is going to be called. And lo and behold, got called tonight.
Marquez, can you take us through your touchdown from your vantage point?
Yeah, so actually I was like the last read on that play. And it was like a 0 coverage to me and the cornerback. I think they doubled Trav. He was the first read. And once I seen that, safety trigger on Trav and the corner was outside leverage, I was like, yo, Pat, throw me the ball. I threw my hand up, and, he's always, finding a way to get people the ball. He has eyes all over his head, and he made it happen.
What was the environment, Marquez, when obviously Harrison's leading up, given that you're maybe one pick away from obviously making this?
I knew he was going to make it. This is what this team is, man. We battled through so much adversity. We were, heavily doubted, all week, all year, and we just continue to show people why you shouldn't doubt us.
But you can see your excitement in your tweet right after the game. Can you describe your emotion?
Yeah, man, this is my 3rd championship game. I've been with the Packers with 2 of them. Got beat to sleep by the 49ers in the first one, and then the second one, lost to Tampa in a heartbreaker. So being able to get to this one and win it, it was one of those moments you can't really describe.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hey, bye. Kelsey and Clark. Okay.
Yep.
So Beach and Hunt were together. Oh, hey, Beach and Hunt.
Travis, can you take us through the end of Friday's practice and everything necessary to obviously play today?
For me specifically, because I wasn't the only one that was going through it. We had a lot of guys banged up, and what that meant was that we were going to need some guys to step up, and that's offensive, defensively, and even special teams. You saw a lot of guys getting put in there and having to step up, and that's what makes this thing that much better. And that's what makes this game that much sweeter. When you can get all three phases to come together and win the biggest game of your year up to this point, man, it's a sweet feeling, man. And being in that locker room, sharing that moment with that guys, I'll remember forever for sure.
You like what the Cincinnati mayor had to say?
I said enough about the Cincinnati mayor. It was Cincinnati was a better city when Jerry Springer was a mayor.
Seriously, was there a point in practice this week from Pat that you knew he was going to not only play well tonight?
I mean, there was no doubt in my mind he wasn't going to be out there. I knew for a fact he was going to give this city and this organization, all the guys that he goes to work with every single day, everything that he has. And sure enough, I mean, even on that last play, you saw it all come together, man. And you guys know how much I love that guy, but it's moments like that that just make it that much more special to be his teammate, and that much more special to be a part of the Kansas City Chiefs organization.
Special moments with him, this is kind of emotional way of knowing what he had to do, and even what you were going through, some of the guys heard.
Right now, it's an amazing feeling. I don't even want to kind of look. I don't even want to look at it from that perspective until this thing's all over with. But from right now, I know that we got a warrior back there, a quarterback, going into the biggest game of the season. And you know what? I know 1-5 is going to give us a chance to win it.
Travis online, people are calling this the Kelsey Bowl coming up. Talk about the feeling of being able to, brother.
Haven't talked to him yet, but cool scenario to be in. You know, my mom can't lose. I'll just leave it at that. It's going to be an amazing feeling playing against him. And, you know, obviously I respect everybody over there in the Eagles organization. And you won't see me talking too much trash because of how much respect and how much I love my brother. But it's definitely going to be it's going to be an emotional game. That's for sure.
This is your third Super Bowl, so obviously this for you. But talk about the free agents that came in, Carlos Dunlap and Justin Reed, these rookies that are going to be able to experience the Super Bowl the first time for you, but this is your third.
I feel like it's everybody in that locker room has the same mentality. This was awesome, but you know, winning the Super Bowl is obviously the biggest goal. And we've been to a Super Bowl. The leaders, the coaches that have been here, we've been to a Super Bowl and haven't won it. And that was the last taste that I got of it. So to speak to the free agents and the upcoming guys, the guys that we got in the draft, obviously they've all helped us to get to this point, and we're going to need them even more in the Super Bowl. But I can't thank them enough for choosing Kansas City. That's for sure.
To follow up on that, obviously, you've had the high and the lows. How do you share that with them so when you go in a couple of weeks, they don't experience the lows?
Well, I mean, you go into it with the right mindset, and right now we got to get healthy. And from there, we'll figure out how we're going to attack the Eagles and how we're going to defend the Eagles. And, you know, it's these 2 weeks tend to be some of the longest days that I've ever experienced. So we definitely have a lot of time to be able to get healthy, get the right mindset, and get everybody on the same page for sure.
In that fourth quarter, you had different guys out there because of the injuries. You know, Marcus Kemp made a play. And a lot of rookies out there on the field. What does that say about your team that you can go so far into that depth and still come away with great performance in the fourth quarter and win this game?
I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy named Brett Veach, but he's brought in some amazing talent, and he's put this team together, and we're the best team in the AFC because of what he's been able to do, on top of what these coaches have been able to do in terms of teaching the players, teaching these young guys how to make these plays. There's just so much love for the guys that take it day by day, that don't necessarily get the praise, that don't get the opportunities in a game every single week to be able to make those plays. If you understand what I'm saying, a guy like Marcus Kemp stepping up, even a guy like Harrison Bucker, who for whatever reason everybody was on him for maybe struggling a little bit, and he's just absolutely been perfect in these playoffs and just put all of that aside. Guy like Sky Moore, who's had a few struggles early on this season, steps up to the plate, makes arguably the biggest play in the game on that punt return, putting us in a position to be able to get close enough to get a field goal. Those guys that work their tail off and don't always get that opportunity in the game, for them to step up, man, it's the best feeling in the world.
All right. Travis, was there doubt you were going to play today?
What's that?
Was there doubt you were going to play today?
Man, I was going through it for sure. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, but we have the best training staff in the entire NFL. My guy David Glover, Julie, Ev, Tiff, Ricky B, everybody in this building has been unbelievable getting me right, and I can't leave out my guy Alex Gaisel for getting me right outside of the facility. And I'm just very thankful and very appreciative. And man, it's I don't know where I would have been mentally if I wasn't able to play in this game.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Go Heights High.
See you there.
go. Frank, how was the cigar?
It was all right. It was all right. Would have been better at the Super Bowl. You know, I could settle for AFC Championship.
Frank, it's easier said than done. Third Super Bowl in 4 years since you've been here. Thought on making it to Super Bowl again, but also for your teammates and what's going to experience it for the first time.
It's a blessing, man. You got a lot of young guys. You got some older guys who's never seen this, you know, amount of success. You know, just a blessing to be able to, you know, be part of, you know, that group of guys who was able to get these guys to this point, you know, the promised land, man.
Knowing the type of big time player that you are, how were the comments? How motivated were those comments throughout the week? The Burrowhead, the mayor, comments. Did it drive you on the defense, especially with the crowd behind you tonight?
I mean, it didn't really motivate me, honestly. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's why they're at the house, you know, or on their way there. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really motivate me. I mean, obviously you see the things, but like I said, it's going to motivate the ones who's paying attention. I said that the other day. Honestly, it didn't motivate me. I knew what I was going to do. I told y'all what I was going to do before this about a week ago. Y'all can keep on ignoring it, but it is what it is.
Frank, you said like last week, you're going to get it where you get it, whether it's in neutral side or here.
Yeah.
What did you guys do so well early and then late to make sure they got it, I guess?
Set the tone. I told my guys yesterday I was going to set the tone from the start of the game to the end of the game. Watch the film.
What about Chris? We talked to a lot of people.
He set the tone. He finished the game.
How special was he
Christopher Jones.
on that game clincher there for you guys, that sack?
He did his thing, man. Chris Jones, most unstoppable man in football.
A lot of people have talked about the no sacks in the 11 playoff games. There's been a lot of talk all offseason about last year when he didn't get the sack in the fourth quarter. So for him to finish it, is it poetic justice to him?
He was just doing his job, man. Just doing his job. Going out there doing what the coaches prepared us to do, finishing the game.
When you get traded over here, I mean, obviously the goal, you want to win championships, but to be in the third Super Bowl in your fourth season since you come over here, I mean, how is that even more than you could have hoped for?
It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing and honor. Just to be able to go back to this place. I felt like last year, you know, sitting at home watching other teams celebrate it, kind of took a toll on us. I feel like it took a toll on me. Kind of shape, you know, my approach to the offseason, honestly. And we here today.
How different was this year's team that's going to the Super Bowl versus the other ones? When you think about all the injuries and not having Tyreek and the changes and new people, what's the mark of this team?
The ability to finish. I feel like over the course of the last 2 years, we wasn't finishing like we're supposed to. I feel like we came into this year with the mindset of finishing games better. You look over the season, I feel like we did that. And then we carried into the playoffs as well. I feel like for the last 3 games, we played the Bengals. Fourth quarters and third quarters, second halves really played the tail of the game. They was able to come out in the second half and do more than we was able to do. I felt like our offense did what they were supposed to do in the second half. The third quarter had a very good third quarter, time of possession and stuff like that. And then the defense was just able to make some plays. You see in the back end, what I tell you about them young guys. I told you about them young guys. They're some studs. They made all the plays tonight. I believe each one of them had a pick. Literally 35, 23, 6 help with a pick. That was probably the best play of the game, the tip to the interception. Man, y'all keep playing with these young boys if y'all want, man. They gonna keep on showing y'all. I told y'all in camp, I vouched for them in camp, and I'm gonna keep on riding for my dogs.
Frank, you guys got after Joe Burrow early right from the start. What was different about tonight's game than the other games you played against him?
Me being healthy,
Is it that simple?
that's simple.
Being in the top 5 in career postseason sacks now, I know it's a team game, but I mean, you're up there with Hall of Famers and earn that nickname Playoff Frank. What's that mean to you to play your best football in the postseason?
It's a blessing, you know what I mean? Just to be able to go out there, be healthy, compete with some of the best. Compete with some of the best players in the world, and just continue to go out there to show, continue to go out there and show why, we are the best at what we do here in the Chiefs Kingdom.
How do you
Frank.
compartmentalize just what you do that got you here to a Super Bowl? Because you shared it the young guys.
Have faith. Never lose faith in yourself. When the world throwing rocks at you, you know, when everybody doubting you and telling you you can't do something, keep your head down, keep chopping wood, keep working, and everything that you want in life, you're going to get.
All right.
Simple. Appreciate y'all.
All right, that's it, guys.